Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Loren Sherman's script and to mimic the Talking Scribe's neoteric style. And let's go ahead and get to how this design says a quote from Gandalf in Spanish. These two say different things, because obviously this design already says that in that style, so I wouldn't need a new design. Anyway, let me get to the transcription explanation. So this key uses dots and lines combined with these four different stems to make our consonants. And vowels are a bit trickier. They're smaller circles, and they're in different positions depending upon what vowel they are and if they're attached on one of these four stems. So A's are always on the outside of the word circle. E's, I's, and U's are all in the same position, but I's have a line going towards the middle, and U's have a line going towards the outside of the word circle. And O's are always inside the word circle, and if they're attached on a stem, they're on the line of the stem, whereas the E, I, and U position is inside that consonant stem. It makes more sense in practice. Let's get to this design. You read left to right on a linear design like this. So this is our first word. Here's the bottom of the word circle, and this is the first stem you hit. It is a circle inside the word circle, so we're on this stem, and there is one line ending on it here. So that is an N, and then we have an O hanging out on that line like that. So no is our first word. And then our next word here has a T stem on it here. And in this style, these T stems kind of protrude. They stick outside the word circle. So like that. So do the deep divot stems like that and that. Anyway. Let's go ahead and read this word in order. Bottom of the word circles here. This is just a line coming off of the I. This is the first actual stem. And it's a deep divot because it's more than 50% completed. The circle starts to curve back in on itself. So that has 1, 2, 3 dots closest to it because this dot is on this line of the sentence circle, making it a comma. And then these 3 dots are all inside this stem. So that would be a D. And then we have an I with a line going towards the middle. Then we have the shallow divot with 3 dots, making it an R. And then we have an E because it's on the line of the word circle, and it's got this little accent hash. So this is an acute accent because it's one line on it, so there's another one there, and there's another one there. So this is D-I-R-E with an acute accent. And then we have the comma. So no, I can't speak Spanish, D-I-R-E. Comma is our first kind of chunk of the sentence. And then we have our next chunk of the sentence inside this sentence circle. And this has a quotation mark around it. So the quotation marks are one line coming from the sentence circle. So here's one side of the quotation mark, and there's the other side. And here's our first word of this kind of little sentence. It's another N-O, just like this N-O. And then we have this word circle here, bottom of it's here. This is the first set of stems we hit, and it is a double line, so it is a double letter, and the lines are the same thickness, so it's the same letter twice, and they're both circles inside the word circles, and they have 1, 2, 3 dots on them, making it a double L. And then we have an O hanging out inside the word circle. Then we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots, so that's another R, just like this R. And then we have an E hanging out inside or on the line of the word circle, and it's got that acute accent on it again, so this is another E with an accent. And then we have an I with a line coming out closer towards the middle. So this is a trick that Scribe uses a lot, using an I line as a concentric circle. He does it here on this I in this word in nice. Yeah. So I, and then we have the S here. 1, 2, 3 lines on this shallow divot, making it an S. So done a lot like this S, 1, 2, 3 lines on that always S. And this line passes through, so it doesn't count. Only lines that end on the stem count. And this is the word circle line, so it doesn't count. So anyway, this word is L-L-O-R-I-E with an accent on it. I, and then S, so L-L-O-R-E with an accent, I, S, comma. And then we have our next phrase here. Here's our first word, bottom of it's here. This is our first letter. It has 1, 2 lines ending on it, so it's a P because it's a circle inside the word circle. Then we have a U with a line going outwards, and then an E. Then we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. And even though this looks like it's part of this line, it's important that this little space is here between the two because this line does not continue. This is a new line that starts on this stem. So 1, 2, 3 lines makes that an S. So P-U-E-S is that word. And then we have another no, N-O, one line on the N and then the O on the N. So no, and then our next word here. Bottom of the word circles here. Here's our first stem. So this is not a stem, it is again just a line. But this is the stem, and it has no lines ending on it, because this one passes through it, this is the O on it, this is a line passing through it, but nothing actually ends on the stem, so that's just a T with an O on it, so T-O. Then we have a D, 1, 2, 3 dots on the D, A, and then this S has 1, 2, 3 lines on it, just like this S with 1, 2, 3 lines on it. So, todas, T-O-D-A-S, so T-O-D-A-S. And then our next word here, bottom of the word circles here. This is our first letter. It is a circle inside the word circle with 3 dots, so that's an L. Then we have the A outside the word circle. Then we continue around. Here is another S, 1, 2, 3 lines on this shallow divot. And then we have this word here. It has an A with an accent on it and a L. Even though the A is below the L, because they're attached in line with each other. So like this, you would read the consonant first and then the vowel because they're attached and in the same position as each other. So this consonant is an L. And we have the A with an accent, so L-A. Continuing around, here we have a G because it's got one line in it, and then the R, I, M with 1, 2, 3 lines on it. M, 1, 2, 3 lines. A outside the word circle, and then the S, so L-A-G-R-I-M-A-S. And then we have 1, 2, 3 lines on this S, O-N, so sun. And then here's our last word. Here's an A. So this is an example of a word actually starting with an A because there is no consonant here, right in line with it. This one does have a consonant in line with it. This one does not have a consonant in line with it. So this A is by itself, so the word actually starts with an A. So A, and then 1, 2, 3 lines on this M. Continue around. This is the punctuation, except it's a period because it's open. Commas are filled in. But anyway, A-M-A-R-G-A-S. 1, 2, 3 lines on the S, 3 dots on the R, 1 line on the G. So yeah, A-M-A-R-G-A-S. Period at the end of that sentence. Just like this period at the end of the sentence there, woo. So yeah, that's this design. I hope it makes sense. This is a kind of a tricky style to read because of the stems kind of protruding out. But this is legible. This is legible. If you can read this, you can read this. So, woo. Yeah, I'm proud of this design. I think I did a really good job, and I think Scribe would be proud. Bye.